So we're going to hop into Lowe's right now, see if we can find a few products and compare them side by side. Let's go. So we spent some time looking for products and found some interesting products we can compare. We got 3 headlamps that we're get back to the studio and compare them side by side, see where they land, see which one wins, see which one needs improvement, and see how we can improve it. Alrighty, so we're in the studio. So all of these were priced about the same, about $14.97, $14.97, and this one $14.98, which is 1 cent more, but I don't know why 1 cent more. It has less lumens, it has less features, and in my opinion, this one actually, I think this is going to be the winner that we need to improve. So let me explain what we're about to do. We got 3 products here that are practically stacking against each other and competing with each other, right, for the same price point. So let's get these unboxed. Our end goal will be find the winner that looks the ugliest, and we'll see how we can improve it through design and see if we can do a better job. I think this is going to be the winner, so let's get going. Okay guys, so I've done a little bit more comparing of these products behind the scenes. Craftsman and RAYOVAC both have single button on and off. The LUX-PRO, the difference, it has 2 buttons here, and then the second button controls different LEDs which are on the side. So it looks very symmetrical, looks very nice. So let's talk about clicks. And let's start with 2 single button flashlights because these are about the same. So you'd have to go through cycles in RAYOVAC to get through the whole thing, from the activating the flashlight to turning it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, it's off. In terms of brightness, it's a low white, high white, red, off. And then if you double tap, it'll bring the strobe. So the strobe is kind of hidden. It's not built into the cycles, but you have to double tap to activate the strobe when you're working along the road or somewhere, so you'll be more visible. So 2 cycle through these lights for Craftsman. It goes to high white, low white, dim white, and then dim red and off. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, off. No strobe. So LUX-PRO did the best approach. They separated 2 buttons. Yes, it cost them more money, but from a user perspective, that's most convenient because, hey, if I want my dim lights, I can just go straight to my color LEDs. If I'm going somewhere really dark and I know I'm gonna need my only white light, hey, I just go straight to the white. There you go. Me personally, never had to use the strobe function. I wish they went the RAYOVAC way, so double tap to activate the strobe rather than just cycling through high and then low and then the strobe and then off. Next, I kind of looked at the hinging system. So it has little ribs in there, so it keeps that level at whatever you're trying to shine that light. 1, 2, 3, so about 3 positions. RAYOVAC has 1, 2, 3. So 3 snapping positions, but it almost seems like it's spring-loaded, that it wants to go back. So a slight little bump in the light and it wants to go back to its original position. That would annoy the heck out of me. LUX-PRO, it has, I don't know, I could count at least maybe like 6 or 7, maybe even 8 snapping positions. Craftsman has the loudest clicking noise. This one, it still has an upper hand over Craftsman. Craftsman feels nicer when it's snapped. It has a nicer snap, but the fact that it cannot stay put in this position, it's problematic for me. So if you see it, like it's moving around a lot, so it locks in position, but there's a lot of play in that locking position. Like for example, LUX-PRO, there is no play. Once it snaps into whatever position you snap it in, it stays put. For me, that's a winner. So all of these use AAA replaceable batteries. To pop the door open, you just need to pull the tab on one of these. And the cool thing about LUX-PRO, they made even little cutout sections here that, I don't know if you tell in the light, there's a little dimple where you can put your finger in or stick your fingernail under and prop that door open. RAYOVAC, let's pop the door open. So that comes undone quite nicely. Again, this 1 cent more expensive, but it has a hinge system here. RAYOVAC, I'll give it second place. The only reason because, I mean, they didn't provide any like divots to catch a door. Every surface of the RAYOVAC is pretty smooth. So from user experience, it's kind of hard to get that door open. Like Craftsman, there's a bottom port that opens up. And in my opinion, this is by far the worst. It's easy to open. You just pull that tab and it comes undone, but it is not fixed to the light. So when you undo the door, pull it open, the door is completely off. So I don't know if you can tell, but it's completely off and it's holding on these little flimsy, little very thin plasticky things that attach the door to the body. these things come undone very easily, just like that. And to put this tab back in there, which is very flexible, it's hard to get there. It's very annoying. The thing is, LUX-PRO has a hinge system, so whenever the door comes open, it's hinged. It's still fixed to the light. Now, first thing to notice is LUX-PRO, it has red rubber seal around it. RAYOVAC, this one you can't really see it because it's black. It's hard to notice. You have to kind of feel for it, but it does have a rubber gasket. The LUX-PRO, I do love their attention to detail, that it's red versus gray. It kind of like pops out at you. Hey, I am waterproofed, which is nice, versus this one's like black, so some users might not even know that it has a rubber seal, but it's hard to miss that with LUX-PRO. So no rubber seal for Craftsman. You're paying the same price as LUX-PRO with no water seal. And this hinge system is just annoying. I mean, it's only a matter of time before this door starts completely coming off. And so you can see the gap. As you close it, there's a gap. It doesn't sit quite right. This side sits quite nicely, but again, it's not water sealed. This gap, there's a hole here on this side. So LUX-PRO, in my opinion, is the winner out of this batch. So now let's talk about styling. So styling is very subjective, but then yet there's universal rules that always apply to styling. So you can tell when a product looks cheap, when the product looks a little more expensive by parts it's made out of, and materials they use. So a lot of like tangible ways you can tell that one product is more superior than the other. Looking at a LUX-PRO, in my opinion, that's the winner. The build quality is pretty nice, has a very nice matte finish to it. When you compare the plastic to RAYOVAC, again, these both are matte textured plastics. When you compare these two side by side, you can tell that LUX-PRO looks like a much more premium flashlight. But you can tell that RAYOVAC is a little bit harder plastic, and it looks cheaper because it has a little more shine to it, and it just doesn't look as appealing as LUX-PRO. Now, another thing about RAYOVAC from styling, it's a very basic styling. It's just almost like a half oval domes looking thing. There's really no character to it. It's just kind of like everything kind of has weird saggy lines. There's really no character to this flashlight. LUX-PRO actually has a character. So overall, it's a very pleasant flashlight to look at. The features is just pop out at you, like they had this center light that just kind of bulges out a little bit, so it's not built into the body as RAYOVAC's or Craftsman, which is nothing wrong with that, but it's just a little extra detail that sets itself apart from everything that's going on around the flashlight. So I appreciate that. Craftsman, on the styling, there's not much going on as far as texture, details, nothing really to get excited about. In some areas you can see some more glossy corners. That's usually like poor texturing. Feels a little more slicker. So and whenever you deal with slippier plastics, it makes it feel a little more toy-like rather than industrial. This one has like nice texture, so it's like, hey, I'm rugged. You can throw me, you can beat me around, you can drop me, I'm not afraid. This one kind of seems like, hey, it has a little more gloss to it, so it's place me on the shelf, look at me type of product. Not so much fit for hard industrial use. So the third place is Craftsman. By far, this is the worst flashlight out of these three. So if I bought this because of Craftsman, I'll be quite disappointed, honestly. This one would take the second place. Styling wise, not so much, but build quality, very nice flashlight. So from designer's point of view, LUX-PRO is the winner. So if I were to recommend an inexpensive light when you're shopping for one, pick this one up. You are not gonna go wrong. The build quality is really solid. They put very good thought into this flashlight. I would not be afraid to recommend this to anybody. I'll drop the link down below for all these products if you want to experiment them yourself. So there you have it, guys. This is my rundown of the lights from designer's point of view. I appreciate you guys very much. Please leave your comments down below. I will be reading and going through them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the comments and all the likes. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.